Hey guys, hey Revelation chapter 18. You went to go get a coffee and then some cake. Glorious. I've got some cookies in the fridge. My friend just came round for a few hours, Andy. Much love, Andy. A few beers and great conversation. He's just come back from Wisconsin and Chicago. I'm leaving for Tijuana on Wednesday, the 10th of August, and I'm going to spend a week in Los Angeles. So I'm excited for that. Hello, Margo MC. Hello, how are you doing? You good? Love the smiley face. Love the smiley face. So tomorrow is going to be the opening game of the Premier League season, which a lot of people are excited about. As you know, I will not be watching any of the games. I will be coding games for my community and hopefully to reveal the deception behind these games, or at least the code behind them. And I'm not going to sit here right now and say I'm going to predict everything right, because that's not going to happen. But I'll reveal undeniable numbers, why teams are playing each other. I'll tell you who I think is going to win, why I think they're going to win, and more often than not, I'll be right. Hello, Adam Lastman. How are you? Cheers, PMC Chicago. Bro Hernandez, are Man United going to get good again? Yes. Yeah. I think they'll have a decent enough season this season, but will they ever get back to the Fergie era in our lifetime? Depends on the code. Probably not. Like growing up when I was a huge United fan, you literally took it for granted. Like every other season you were winning a trophy or winning the league or doing well in the Champions League. Thankfully now I don't support any team. I don't give my energy to any of these teams anymore like I used to. Just heading to bed, but I'll listen for a bit. Much love, Fat Henry UK. Thanks to the new people, by the way, who signed up today and renewed from the previous month. I appreciate you. Just keep pushing out content. This code here took me 3 hours, and it's not like me to do that. Usually I do codes in 10, 15, 20 minutes. This code took me 3 hours. I want to give a big shout out to Flinny, who's a member of my website. He wanted me to look into the Invincible season. He knows I always talk about the number 49, and obviously Arsenal went 49 games unbeaten. The number connected to Revelation. So I'll get into that in detail, guys. 16 alive, 7 likes. That's the 39th prime. I'll get into how big the number 39 is with that season, where they went 49 games undefeated. It was over a season, actually, but they went the whole Premier League season campaign without losing a game. They, as far as I'm aware, they won 26 and drew 12, lost 0. I'll discuss the 26 in detail. Remember, my Patreon got deleted on 26, 2 months and 6 days after my birthday. It's a really big number. Have you decoded the game tomorrow, Palace Arsenal? I have. And I'll tell you what I think. Without going into exactly who I think is going to win, I'll just say what I'm feeling about that game. So the code for Arsenal Palace, the code indicates Arsenal. My gut tells me the code may be too good to be true. And it's the opening game of the Premier League season. And I think most people will be hammering Arsenal, especially with like signings like Jesus. So for me personally, I think that opening game is a stay away game. And I've got some codes for Saturday and Sunday games. The opening game is always a game that you've just got to look at, see where they're going, see what codes playing out, see if it is Revelation, which I believe it will be. It's Crystal Palace. The code's all about Prince Philip, obviously, who resided in Buckingham Palace in London, where the game's taking place, a London derby. There's so much. I won't go through the code. And I'm not even going to tell you who I really like this weekend. There's a few teams that I really like. But I was looking at historically the opening game of the season, and there's lots of upsets and there's lots of draws. Okay, it's a frustrating game week, the first one, usually. So yeah, most people will put on the typical accumulators, won't they, of Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. All 5 of them are not winning. You've got to try and figure out which team is probably going to drop points. What's the riddle indicate? The numbers, the historical patterns, because it is all about patterns. All of these leagues. And guys, it's although the Masons obviously founded the Football Association, and the Masons have a lot of knowledge and they're aware of the code and they infiltrate the code. After you listen to this code that I've done for Arsenal, you will acknowledge that it's not man doing the code, but man may be aware of the code. I'm going well, Adam Lastman. I've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of expenses going out. Like, I've got to renew my health insurance that runs out in 2 days. Today I had to go grocery shopping. I had to put gas in my car. I had to pay my phone bill. I was doing all that today, but my friend came round, so that was fun. I'm going to go for a swim about 7 o'clock to get some exercise in. But overall, I'm doing well. Hey, Lady Hawk, much love. Who's your title winners? I'll sign up to the site tomorrow. Sorry, I haven't done it yet. No, Jordan, no need to apologize. Sign up whenever you're ready, whenever it's meant to be. The code that I have is Man City. And everyone's told me they're not winning it. That I've spoken to in this community, they said, no way, Man City. I know they're the favourites. I have a code for Man City. And it's a pretty straightforward one. And sometimes the straightforward codes are the best codes. So Man City and Guardiola going 5 out of the last 6. That huge number with the whole world right now, the 56. And there's more. So as of now, I have Man City. I don't see myself changing that, but there's not a lot of value. But then again, it depends on how much you're willing to stake. I also have a team. I'm not going to tell you yet. You'll see soon, Jordan, for the FA Cup. I got the FA Cup right last year at the beginning of the season. I told you Liverpool, 33 years after the Hillsborough disaster, before the season began. I also said AC Milan would win Serie A before the season began. Bayern Munich was a gimme. What else did I have? The League Cup. I didn't get that one right. So which club are you a fan of? Let's change the tense there. Were you a fan of? I was a die-hard Man United fan. Like, all the shirts. Went to as many games as I could. Idolized Beckham, Cantona, Ronaldo, Giggs. So I was a huge United fan. I don't watch any games anymore. I don't watch any of them. Last season in the Premier League, I didn't watch one game the whole season, which is amazing because prior seasons I would watch every game that I could. Now I don't watch any of them. But I keep an eye on the scores, of course. Not as a fanboy, more out of, okay, let me keep up to date with where they're going with this so I can help people see that the Premier League is actually a huge distraction and there's so many rituals within it. I was reading yesterday, they said that they're not going to do the knee anymore at the start of every game. They're only going to do it on special occasions. Taking the knee. Stuff like that where I stopped watching. Who are you a fan of, Abdullah? Someone's telling me Chelsea, that you're a Chelsea fan. Arsene Wenger is inverted. I'm going to send your song to Elton John to sing to the public. He's surely a good man. Good banter. I think that song that I wrote, that Team God Wins, you could sing that in a church. Okay, I think it was well put together that in 5 minutes. And a lot of people, like actual friends of mine, not just people online, actual friends, said, did you really write that poem? I was like, yeah, 5 minutes. I said, wow, it's really good. Yes, in regards to Ian Wright, yes. And told you Ian Wright's wife is as blatant as it gets to being a male, if you look it up. Hi, Adam. Do you have a code for Arsenal Palace tomorrow? I do, Lon. So I want your advice here. Much love to you. The code screams Arsenal. The code screams Arsenal. But there's something that concerns me about it being the opening game of the Premier League season where the favourite hardly ever wins. That's my concern. The code, I know people might say, if it's all about the code, then who cares what your gut says? I think my gut is just as important as the code from doing this for 2 years now. And I don't know. I think it might be a tight game, maybe 1-1. I think Arsenal will have a pretty decent season. I think Jesus is going to be a revelation at Arsenal. I think he'll score a lot of goals. But the code says Arsenal win. The code says Arsenal, and they're pretty much even money. And I'm learning this, and I learned this towards the end of last season. Code in the Premier League is if there's a really strong code for an underdog like Palace, the double chance is a nicer bet than taking the favourite more often than not. So if you don't know what double chance is, it means that the underdog can either draw or win. So you've 2 out of the 3 outcomes you're covered for. But then again, you're like, yeah, but if you look at the table at the end of the season, obviously these top teams win way more than they lose. And so as of now, the code says Arsenal, but I ain't sitting here telling you Arsenal winning at all. I've just told you. And I ain't covering myself. I'm just being frankly honest with you. I don't need to cover myself. So will I post the code for Arsenal? Maybe, and just say, hey, the numbers indicate Arsenal, but my gut tells me you probably should stay off the game. 31 in the live, 9 likes. That was the score. Super Bowl 55, 31-9. Did you look into what you wrote down last stream? No. No, it's been a long time since I followed football, like until the virus, and even longer since I've watched football. Okay. Did you see any numbers for Zaha? Yes, Zaha. This is the issue, though, with the top stars. Zaha is Palace's superstar. No doubt he is their superstar. Like, if you go to Selhurst Park, you don't mind if I have one beer, do you guys? Of course you don't. If you go to Selhurst Park, the majority of people are going to have Zaha on the back of the shirt, who obviously went to Man United. Supposedly had sex with David Moyes' daughter. That's why they released him. That's what the media tell us. Big ritual. So Zaha's numbers do look great. But the top stars, their numbers always look great. That's the issue. That's why they're the top stars, the numbers that they have. And a lot of it's organic, guys, by their numbers, which I'll get into in a moment with this Arsenal code, which I've not even started yet. So yeah, Zaha does have some numbers. I never followed football. Sometimes we used to play at school. I was first chosen because I'm a natural fouler. Just made me think of Robbie Fowler. I saw Arteta's name on an Epstein Island flag log in 2020. It doesn't shock me. Lego head. Arteta, who was the assistant of Guardiola at Man City. He also played for Arsenal, didn't he? He played for Everton. I'm going to discuss how important Arsenal and Everton, the connection is with the Invincibles. Did you see the light in the corner of your video when you said Jesus? No, but I'm glad you did. Moyes' daughter was young at the time. Let me look at the article. 1 second. Let me check now, brother. Give me 1 moment. I'm just in a live stream, but if you have signed up, I really appreciate you, bro. Let me check. Guys, let me just check if my close friend has just signed up to my website. Let me have a look. The guy, Chris, who was just with me for like 6 weeks where I live, just got back to Los Angeles. He said he's just signed up. He loves what I do, but he's not that bothered about the sports, which is an ideal person for me. Where is it? members. No, it hasn't gone through, I don't think. Easy, bro. It's not gone through yet, but maybe it's not instant. Did you pay via PayPal? So let me just check. Zaha Moyes' daughter. Says Manchester United legend Patrice Evra has stunned fans by bringing up Wilfred Zaha's alleged fling with David Moyes' daughter during a live TV broadcast. So I know Zaha signed for United in 2013 when Francis became the Pope. But it's not telling me how old Moyes' daughter was. And again, I've told you, look out for words like alleged. Means it didn't happen. Zaha claimed he never met Moyes' daughter. So again, it's just nonsense. I find it hard to talk about this stuff. Zaha was 19. All right, so I'm guessing she was about that age as well. He was 19 when he signed for United, and he didn't really do anything for United. Zaha didn't do anything. When you watch Zaha play, there's no doubt that the guy's incredibly talented. Annoying, frustrating, inconsistent, incredibly talented at the same time. You also know Vinnie Jones, professional fouler, although he seemed quite nice in Big Brother. I played with Vinnie Jones he was my coach for 2 years, Vinnie Jones, when I played for Hollywood. So my experience of Vinnie Jones is an incredible guy, a generous guy, an incredibly passionate guy, didn't like to lose, spoke his mind. And obviously when I played for Vinnie at Hollywood, I didn't know anything about the Masons. I didn't know anything about pro sports being corrupt or coded or rigged. I didn't know any of that. My experience with Vinnie Jones was incredibly positive, and he told me that I was incredible, and he couldn't believe that I wasn't playing professional. Vinnie Jones told me that. He said he kept telling the teammates, give Adam the ball. He put me left midfield, though, and I'm more of a striker. He put me out on the left, and that's why for half a game, I would always have him in my ear. I could always hear everything he was saying. But Vinny was a great guy. He won the FA Cup, didn't he, with Wimbledon, which was a big shock. Since you live in Mexico, will you do a Mexico code when around the World Cup starts? Yes, I'll do that for you. A lot of Mexicans are asking me that. They know what I do. So they're like, are Mexico going to win it? I was like, nah. They'll probably do what they usually do, like round of 16. Adam is very respectful. He reads my name out when I comment. Yes, chronic maths debater. I don't know why you keep asking me to read it out. Is it some sort of spell, though? But I only do it because you ask. She seems too pretty to be David Moyes' daughter. Yeah, I know. David Moyes looks a little bit like Gollum. My precious. Looks a bit like Gollum, doesn't he? There's male celebrities pretending to be females. Yeah, I've covered all of that. Yeah, I figured you out. All right, I'll break this down because I just feel like I'm doing the best work of my life right now, and it's not all about getting codes right and saying who's going to win. It's just showing you that this world that we live in is coded, and it's up to you to decide who's coding it. God, Satan, man, whatever you want, magic, it's coded. And after you hear this code, which I'm going to read in 1 minute, you're going to be blown away. And what I'll do, obviously the code is on my website if you want to sign up and read it. It's worth the $10 to read the code. I think I'm going to put it in my book. I'm going to put a load of these codes in my book now. And what I'll try and do is take screenshots of the code and put it on Twitter so people can actually see it for themselves and share it with their friends who can't afford to pay $10. Hey, 6079 Smith W. Have you ever decoded cryptocurrency? Yeah. And I've called a lot of stuff with it, but I'm not interested in it. And people got frustrated with that as well. So crypto, it's all the same. Everything's by a code, and all of the codes are connected. So yeah, I know I can decode crypto and when to buy and when not to, but I won't do it. I'm not getting involved in that beast system of crypto. And yes, a lot of people call me out for not doing it and call me naive and silly and stubborn, but I'm not doing it. Thoughts about the red pill? The red pill and the blue pill, I guess I get the idea, the metaphor behind it, that I've taken the red pill. I've chosen to see the difficult truths and go down the rabbit hole and question my reality and give up so much of what I loved. So the red pill's obviously far harder to take than the blue pill. Abdullah, I don't know enough about Andrew Tate. A lot of people are asking me to look into Andrew Tate, so I guess I'll do it for the few people. Maybe you're the same person with a different name. This code is amazing, to be fair. I was going to ask you who you thought made this code. Is it God, or do they actually code this stuff before play out as they plan? My mindset at this point is it's God, but man is aware of the code. So just by me learning this knowledge in 2 years allows me to make these wild predictions, perfect predictions on the nose. A guy who's not been a member of a secret society or attended like Yale or has like royal bloodline or anything like that. Just me in 2 years as a grown man. I've acknowledged the code where I can say this is probably going to happen, and it happens way more often than it doesn't. So if you've grown up aware of this code, then you can definitely manipulate those who are unaware of the code. And these people who are aware of the code are so desperate for others not to be aware of the code. Whereas with me, who stumbled across the code, does all he can to share the code with people. So I think it's man who's aware of the code, but ultimately the code is God. Because it's too perfect, which I'll get into in the code. Do you mind if I start the code? Because otherwise, I will keep responding to comments. And one of the negatives of my work is I talk for too long. To be honest, although a lot of people like it, I do believe that I go on for too long. So I'm getting into the code. If you're a big football fan, professional football fan, Premier League football fan, Arsenal fan, got a lot of Arsenal friends, I'll be sending this code to them. This is eye-opening. That's all I'm going to say. Do your code, Hanson. I appreciate the compliment there. Here we go. I'm getting into it. I am not ignoring you. Okay, as I'm reading this, I just can't see your comments. So here we go. My phone's going insane. Enjoy this, guys. Enjoy this. Arsenal 49 game undefeated run. I'll never forget this because, again, when you are a big fan of a football team, you're competitive, aren't you? You're friends with fans from like Spurs and United and Arsenal and City and Chelsea and whoever it is, Leeds. You go back and forth, just you want to one-up your mate. Okay. And I always had in my locker as a United fan, you can call me a glory supporter, whatever you want, I don't care, was, well, look how many league titles we've won. Look how many Champions Leagues we've won. In my lifetime, look what we've won. What have you won? And it's very embarrassing acting like it was me who coached them or won these trophies. So the Arsenal one, when I would have banter with Arsenal fans, because obviously Arsenal United was a huge rivalry in our lifetime in the Premier League. But the top teams have been United, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, pretty much winning the leagues year after year, mainly Man United. So Arsenal fans would always say to me, but did you ever win a league going undefeated? I'm like, no. Not as in, I did that as a coach in Chicago and LA where we won the league undefeated. But I was like, no, but I used to always say to them, because I get angry about it. This is what, it's embarrassing, guys. Just please don't allow yourself this year to get so worked up by it and argue with your friends about it and get all wrapped up in it. You can watch it and enjoy it. That's your call. Just don't allow yourself to get wrapped up in it all. And I was like, who cares? Who cares? They won the league. And I don't care if they won it by losing 7 games or going undefeated or got record amount of points. I don't care. They won the league. It is what it is. And I get really rattled by it. But yeah, they always was. Yep, you're only getting annoyed because United have never done it. I'm like, ugh. And I was always so desperate for them to do it, but they never did. So here it is. Yeah, Arsenal fans will always bring up the Invincibles to the day they die. That's the reality of it. And all that does, guys, is keeps people living in the past when we should be living in the present, which is a gift. You still hear Forest fans talking about being champions of Europe and Villa. And like, I'm from Bradford. Bradford City fans are always talking about when they were in the Premier League and when they stayed up and all that. I won't give my energy to it. I can talk about it now because it's not actually taking my energy. So here we go. I said, codes like this are why I love coding. This is incredibly biblical. This knowledge does not mean we can predict every outcome, but my word, it can help us decode our reality and history. I've spent 3 hours on this, so I hope you enjoy it. So I'll break down the Invincibles. Oh, okay. In football, the Invincibles is a nickname used to refer to the Arsenal team of 2003-2004 season, managed by Arsene Wenger. He was the manager of Arsenal from 1996 to 2018, where he was the longest serving and most successful in the club's history. Arsene Wenger's team back in 2004 made history when they won the Premier League without losing a single fixture. I told you they won 26, they drew 12. And the streak continued into the 2004-2005 season, lasting for a record 49 games and was only halted by a controversial encounter against Manchester United. I remember that game. I remember messaging all my friends. I remember Van Nistelrooy scoring a penalty. I remember Rooney winning the penalty. I remember Rooney scoring on his debut and he was wearing number 8 because my memory is really strong. And I remember Pizzagate afterwards where Fabregas threw pizza at Sir Alex, supposedly. I'm going to go through that in my code. Okay. Somebody's asking me here in the chat, why did United never get the Invincible record? I don't know. They didn't have the code to do it. Arsenal have had a lot of records, which I'll get into, and how Rooney's connected to them ending. So let's do this. 49-game undefeated run was ended by the Red Devils on October the 24th, 2004. Okay, 49-game undefeated run. Remember, Prince Philip died on 4-9, massively connected to the Book of Revelation, which I've shown you. And that's why they took my video down and suspended me when I showed that on YouTube. Suspended me for a week. So 49 games undefeated. Revelation equals 49. Antichrist equals 49. Apocalypse equals 49. All this is connected to Revelation, which is end times, which I'm not scared of. I say bring it on. I say bring it on. And the Invincibles in Gematria is 227, which is the 49th prime number. Arsene Wenger was born in 49. Okay? This French lanky Jesuit who's actually working right now with the World Economic Forum, all right, shows you who he really is, came out of nowhere, Wenger, to become one of the most iconic coaches of our generation. Came out of nowhere. And Arsenal scored 49 road goals in their run to the league title. Okay? Scored 49 goals away from home when they won the league. The Gunners, okay, which has a war theme, the Gunners racked up a total of 121 points from their 49-game unbeaten streak. 121. Revelation equals 121. And this next part is going to blow your socks off. It blew my socks off. Again, thank you, God, for allowing me to make these connections. It's crazy. I said, now this is insane, capital letters. Arsenal previously had a 30-game unbeaten run that was ended by Everton. And in that game, they lost 2-1. I'm going to get into why 21's so big with this. But ensured in that game, they went 49 games without failing to score. 49. So when their 30-game run ended, it ended, guys, against Everton. And who got the winning goal in the last minute? Wayne Rooney for Everton. Remember the name, Wayne Rooney. Okay, against David Seaman. And if you're going to tell me that the Masons sat down and planned for Rooney to come on, pick up the ball, 30 yards out, ping it, great strike, in off the crossbar against in the top 3 goalkeepers in the league to win it, to end their run. You're going to tell me the Masons sat down and did that and planned it all out? Or was that God that maybe the Masons are aware of Rooney's numbers? How he was going to be a star. Like all of these top stars said, I was born to be a star. I was born to do this. I know I was born to do this. So maybe Manny's aware of the code. So again, for people who, like myself at the beginning, would use the word rigged because it's a word that people can connect with instantly and it draws their attention. So when I say the Premier League is rigged, but I think it's biblical. I think the codes, they can't be changed. Man can't change them. So if Everton was supposed to beat Arsenal on that day and end their 30-game streak, it was always going to happen. And whatever man tried to do, it was going to happen. That's how I see it now. So Arsenal's 49-game undefeated run ended 1 year, 111 days after their run began. 1-1-1-1. Why is that such a big date? November the 11th. 11-11, 1-1-1-1. Remembrance Day is celebrated on 11-11. And that's a Memorial Day observed in Commonwealth member states since the end of the First World War, guys. And it's to honor armed forces members who died in the line of duty. And listen to this. Following a tradition inaugurated by King George, keep talking about George, in 1919, hence COVID-19, the 19-year moon cycles, coronavirus declared a global pandemic 19 years after 9/11, all the 19s. Kobe Bryant got accused of raping a 19-year-old girl. The day is also marked by war remembrances in many non-Commonwealth countries. So it's 1919, and Arsenal's 49-game unbeaten run was ended in a 2-0 loss. Like coronavirus was declared a global pandemic in 2020 on the 71st day of the year, which is the 20th prime number. And it was Man United who ended this 49-game run. And Van Nistelrooy scored, a guy from Holland. Obviously, Holland have the Dutch royal family, just like England. And Rooney scored the decisive goal. It was his first goal for Man United, and it was on his 19th birthday. It was on his 19th birthday. And I've just told you about the 11-11 and how King George came up with this tradition in 1919. Arsenal's 49-game undefeated run ends 1 year, 111 days after the run began. 1-1-1-1, like Remembrance Day. And don't forget, like I said, Rooney also ended that streak against Arsenal when he came on the scene whilst playing for Everton. Rooney produced a sumptuous curling shot from 30 yards in the last minute. It was the 89th minute, the 24th prime, to beat England keeper David Seaman, interesting last name, and give the points to Everton. In the process, Rooney became the youngest player to score a league goal for his club and beat Michael Owen's record as the youngest ever Premier League goal scorer. Okay, another Scouser. 30 yards to end Arsenal's 30-game unbeaten run. Corona gets you 30. Coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 11-3. 113 is the 30th prime number. He gets his 30-yard goal to end Arsenal's 30-game undefeated streak. And it's Rooney. And then Rooney gets the goal for Man United against Arsenal, which basically meant that was game over. And in the same game, he won the penalty that Van Nistelrooy scored. Okay? Did Wenger and Fergie know what were going to happen? I believe they knew. I believe the likes of Fergie and Wenger know. I believe all those top stars know. I do. I do. Although I don't believe they're completely behind it. They're not sat down and training all week saying, this is what we're going to do. And they're on the back and forth, the chairman's discussing who's going to win. And wait, how much money's on us? Wait, there's more money on us this week? Okay, let's make it a draw then. Because we don't want people winning money, which is just printed paper. All right? This isn't about money as much as people think it is. This is revelation, guys, and it's unbelievable, this code. Arsenal conceded only 35 goals during their 49-game unbeaten run. Satan equals 35. Catholic equals 35. Revelation equals 149. The 35th prime. It's why JFK was born on the 149th day of the year and was the 35th president, because it's all coded. And we can say the Masons did that. They chose JFK because of his birth date, made him the president. I think it's bigger than that. I think this is God against Satan at this point. I do. And I'm not saying that these guys who are doing these satanic rituals and mocking us and using us and abusing us and psychologically torturing us deserve to not be called out. I'll keep calling them out. But they're not completely behind the code. Adam Lastman, you just joined my website. Thank you very much. But right now, at this very given moment, or earlier today, because quite a few people signed up, I've not checked the email addresses. The illusion, you are way better looking than Rooney, even with his hair transplant. Rooney looks like Shrek. And you remember Rooney when he used to get interviewed? He couldn't even talk. He couldn't even get his words out, Rooney. All right. Rooney's England's all-time leading goal scorer as well with 53 goals. And Elizabeth was coronated in 53. Rooney's got 53 goals. Harry Kane's about to overtake him. Hello, Kathy. Much love to you. Hope you're well. Let me keep going with this code. Hey, Sally D. Love from Toronto, Canada. Just wanted to hear your voice. Wow, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. 53rd day of the year, 2/22/22. Amazing, 6079. John Terry is the all-time Premier League top goal scorer as a defender. Yes. And what was his jersey number? 26. The God number, which I'll get into in this code. Terry wore 26, not by accident. He also wore 26 for the Villains. And I'll get into why Aston Villa are so important in this code and why Prince William supports them and why Tom Hanks supports them. The Villains, I'll get into that. It's biblical. All right. Wayne Rooney cheated on Colleen Rooney even when she was pregnant with his kids. That's what they tell you, mate. They also said Wayne Rooney had sex with a grandma, stripper. They do all the rituals, bro. Kubalai is 26 as well, yeah, and he's going to have a great season. So, Arsenal's run ended in their 50th game. They obviously went 49 undefeated. In the 50th game is where they lost 2-0 to Man United at Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams, against the Red Devils. And satanic equals 50. Harry Kane just got his 50th England international goal. He did it against Germany. Okay? And I'm telling you, I think the royal family are Nazis. I think they are. That's why Prince Harry dressed up as a Nazi for Halloween. So we're talking about 26. You brought up John Terry, who wore number 26 for Chelsea. And Is he Chelsea's biggest legend ever? He's up there, isn't he? Like, who's a bigger legend than John Terry for Chelsea? Is it Lampard? Who is it? Zola? It's John Terry, isn't it? John Terry is probably Chelsea's most iconic player in their history, because prior to like the Premier League, Chelsea were a bit of a nobody club. So I'd say it's probably John Terry, number 26, the God number. Now listen to these 26s with Arsenal. So when Arsenal went undefeated in the Premier League 2003-2004, I told you there's 38 games in a season. Lucifer's 38, but they won 26 of them and they drew 12. So they won 26. That God number, okay? And during that season, they conceded 26 league goals. And that season, they broke Nottingham Forest's record. Yeah, you're probably thinking, how do I know all of this? Much love to Flinny. We were going back and forth. They broke Nottingham Forest's record. Nottingham Forest went 42. The Beast reigns for 42 months, guys. I keep talking about 42. So much, more than any number. And Forest went 42 games undefeated. 26 years later, Arsenal broke that record. All right? By going 7 more games undefeated. And what's the square root of 49? It's 7, guys. 7 times 7. Ashley Cole, a.k.a. Cashley Cole, who married a bloke. Cheryl Cole from Girls Aloud, a.k.a. No Girls Allowed. They're all blokes. And those 26 is God's 26, guys. My Patreon deleted 26. I had the Warriors to win the NBA in December. They ended on 206 playoff wins. One of the reasons why I like them to do it. My Patreon gets deleted 2 months and 6 days after my birthday. My name, Adam's 26. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. And the most important word, God, equals 26. But yeah, Forest 42 game streak, like the Beast reigns for 42 months. Nottingham, where Robin Hood was from. Okay, told you the Liverpool Forest connection, connecting to Hillsborough. And I had Liverpool to win the FA Cup last year before the season began. Who did they knock out in the quarterfinal? Nottingham Forest. They beat Forest 1-0. I think it was Jota scored. Did he not? Now, check this out for another 26. There are a total of 31,102 verses in both the Old and New Testament Bibles, which is an average of a little more than 26 verses per chapter, guys. The number 26 is just insane. Like the year, we have 52 weeks in the year, which means half a year is 26 weeks, which is 6 months. And Pope Francis became the Pope on 26/6. And 6 months is 26 weeks. It's absolutely, it's crazy. When they talk about 26 with numerology, they always say it's about unconditional love and being patient and going through trials and tribulations and all of that and facing life head on. But they do that with most numbers on these websites. 26 is an incredibly big number. It seems. So check this out. I told you this recently. There's 7,957 verses in the New Testament. And I'm studying pentagonal numbers now, which nobody else is doing in this community, judging from their codes. Nobody. So if you want to pick them up and learn, I came across this knowledge myself. I'm sharing it with you guys. I could just keep my mouth shut and just code for myself and not even do live streams and just gamble and win a shitload of money. But no, study pentagonal numbers and you'll know why. Okay? When you hear what I'm about to tell you. So there's 7,957 verses in the New Testament. 7,957 is the 73rd pentagonal number. Remember, Philip was married to Elizabeth 73 years. Remember, Ric Flair just had his last ever match, 73 years old. Brady, 7-3 in Super Bowls. It's going to stay that way, in my humble opinion. Maybe he wins, maybe he gets the Super Bowl and loses. I don't think he gets there. And Arsenal ended that season where they went undefeated in the league, 73 goals scored. And guys, in their 49-game undefeated run, they had a 73% win rate. I just hope this is getting through to you the way it gets through to me, what I'm saying to you here. 73 is the 21st prime. And on their way to their 49, well, actually, 73 is the 21st prime. They won their first league game of the season where they went undefeated 2-1. They beat Everton 2-1. And then the last game, they won 2-1. 73 is the 21st prime. So they got the 73rd goal in a game that finished 2-1. 73, the 21st prime, guys. And the opening game of the season where they went undefeated in the league, they beat Everton 2-1. And then it was Everton who beat Arsenal 2-1 to end their 30-game undefeated streak that was prior to that. Can you not see the connections? Guys, 49 and 73, no, the 4973, mate, is 666. That's the connections, which I'm trying to do, and I'm going to do short videos about it. The 4973, 4973, bro, is the 666 prime. It's why 1949 was 73 years ago. It's why Philip was married to Elizabeth 73 years, and he died on 49. It's why Tom Brady's 7-3 in Super Bowls. He retired 22 seasons, 7 rings, the 49th prime. It's biblical, and I'm going to do a short video about it. All right? Kobe Bryant died 497 months old in 3 days, the 666 prime. From Ric Flair's wrestling debut to his last ever match, 49 years, 7 months, and 3 days, the 666 prime. The guy who was in the Four Horsemen, the leader of it, the Book of Revelation, the GOAT, Ric Flair. Kobe the Black Mamba, the Snake, the Serpent. Philip, who said he wanted to come back as a deadly virus when he dies. Then he dies, then we have a deadly virus. This is biblical, all right? Just like this Arsenal code is. And I think man's aware of it. Look what I'm aware. Look what I'm presenting to you right now. I've said this earlier in the live. Right now, a guy who's been doing this 2 years with no assistance. All right? Nobody came to me with all this sacred knowledge and said, there you go, son. 2 years. And that's not me showing off. It's speaking truth. Arsenal ended that Premier League campaign with a plus 47 goal difference. 47, huge number, isn't it? Arsenal equals 47. Beast equals 47. The Freemason compass is set at 47 degrees. The Freemasons founded the Football Association. The upcoming president's going to be the 47th when all hell is going to break loose. When we have that 47th US president, Biden's currently the 46th. So, just saw live from Tommy where 73 was everywhere. It's all over the place, mate. I grew up a Madrid fan, but loved the Arsenal Invincibles when I was a child. Again, I was a massive United fan, and I actually loved to watch Arsenal during the Invincible years. I adored Thierry Henry. People called me Perez. They call me Robert Perez. A lot of my friends call me Robert Perez. I used to have the little line down here, just this, like Perez. And I used to have really long hair, and I played a little bit similar to him in regards to how I dribble the ball. I loved it. I loved that team. I loved Freddie Ljungberg. This crazy hair. Like I remember, like as a United fan, I was like, I think I'd rather watch Arsenal play, not support them, but just watch them play. The style of play was electric. I used to love Ashley Cole, guys, especially when he played for England. Nobody could get round him. Remember when Ronaldo went against him and Ashley Cole just ruined him? I never once saw Ashley Cole have a bad game. But again, like, Ashley Cole was a striker for Arsenal in the academy. And then he becomes like the best left back in the world. There's some sort of witchcraft being used, in my opinion. To be honest. Oh, do you want another 26? Wayne Rooney got 26 yellow cards for Everton. He got 26 yellow cards for Everton when he was there. Wenger said this, right? Rooney came on the world stage by scoring that goal against Arsenal. Wenger said after that game, Wenger said, Wayne Rooney is the best young English talent I've ever seen. Really? What a joke. They know that Rooney was going to be special. These people know. Ashley Cole looks like Dani Alves a little bit. Dani Alves is the most successful defender in the world for trophies. Dani Alves. Now, Beast is 47 as well, man. So, when Arsenal, the Invincibles, they won the league, they won by 11 points. 11, my favourite number. Master number. Jesus equals 11. Revelation, I've told you, is 121, which is 11 times 11. Football is a game of 11 versus 11. Remembrance Day is 11-11. I told you this run ended 1 year and 111 days after it began, 11-11. So let's see what goes on this year, 11-11. Wow, there's still so much to read. They broke another record prior to becoming the Invincibles, guys. They went 55 games where they scored. 55. All right, the number I talk about all the time. Like, that's why I coded Super Bowl 55 perfectly before the season began in the NFL, where I had Brady to beat the Chiefs. So I knew it was satanic. 55. All right. Satan equals 55. And this run, this 55-game run ended, again, they lost 2-0 to the Red Devils. Red Devils equals 55. This run ends at 55 because the Red Devils beat them 2-0 where Arsenal didn't score. Arsene Wenger was born 10/22/1949. In numerology, that's 55. The feat of going 55 games scoring ended on November the 30th, 2002, which was a day leaving 31 days left in the year, the 11th prime. Do you know how much money Arsenal paid for Thierry Henry? 11 million. 11 million. Henry, probably the greatest player Arsenal's ever had. 11 million. I've told you, all these numbers that they say they pay for these players is all ritualistic. 11 million. Wasn't Shearer the most expensive signing back in the day when he went from Blackburn to Newcastle for 15 million? And the Illuminati were founded on 1-5. Yeah. The Germany-England game that finished 1-5 in 2001, right before 9/11. So the run began on 5/19/2001, and they achieved their 55-game record run of scoring 560 days later. 560, like 56, and Arsenal FC's 56. Society of Jesus is 56. The owner of Arsenal, Stan Kroenke, also owns the Rams, who just won Super Bowl 56. Arsenal accumulated 56 points on the road during their 49-game unbeaten run. Arsenal's run of scoring ended in their 56th game. And it ended at Old Trafford in Manchester. And Old Trafford equals 56. So does Manchester. That's why I'm telling you, Guardiola and Manchester City, if they win the league this season, they've won it 5 out of the last 6 seasons. 56. Manchester United ended Arsenal's run of scoring in every game exactly 81 weeks after the run began. Exactly 81 weeks. Ritual equals 81. Wenger was born on 81 date numerology, 10 plus 22 plus 49 is 81. And I don't know what's a bigger ritual, this 81, or Leicester City winning the Premier League with 81 points, and Leicester City equals 81. Remember, Leicester City won the Premier League in 2016, the year Kobe Bryant retired, and Kobe being Bryant gets you 81, and his highest scoring game is 81 points, which he got in his 666 game. Fox in Pythagorean numerology is 666. Leicester City are called the Foxes. Leicester City's owner died in a helicopter crash, just like Kobe. King Power Stadium, Kobe had a crown tattoo. Wow. Now check this out for coding, for what they do, or Satan, or whoever it is. Arsenal irked at the end of their 49-game unbeaten league run, took the defeat badly, ensuring a post-match tunnel scuffle, which descended into the infamous Battle of the Buffet, in quotation marks, where Cesc Fabregas, little Spanish Jesuit, hurled a slice of pizza at Ferguson. All right, so we're supposed to believe that Fabregas just picked up this pizza and threw it perfectly at Ferguson because they lost the game. All right, what a joke. So they had to call it Battle of the Buffet. Battle of the Buffet is 174, 66, and 87. Number of the Beast, 174, 66, and 87. Matching ciphers. Think it's an accident why they called it Battle of the Buffet, which is the same gematria as Number of the Beast, the Red Devils. And obviously, Rooney, who played at Everton breaking that run, then went to Man United breaking the run. The Society of Jesus were founded in Paris, France, and many of the Invincible stars were French, such as Thierry Henry, Robert Pires, Patrick Vieira, Sylvain Wiltord. And don't forget, their coach was Frenchman Arsene Wenger. Arsene like Arsenal. It's just a joke. Comes as no shock in Arsenal's last league game of the season when they went undefeated, ended 2-1 versus the Foxes, Leicester City. Do you know who scored in that game? Frenchman Henry and Frenchman and captain Vieira. How perfect. And how perfect that ended 2-1 and Jesuits 21. And the Society of Jesus were founded in France. The 2003-2004 season lasted 8 months and 29 days. 829 is the 145th prime number. Champions is 145. So is Catholic. It's also very interesting that Wayne Rooney ended his career with 145 yellow cards in his career. Do you think they planned that out as well? Nope. The season began on a day leaving 137 days left in the year, the 33rd prime, EPL's 33, and it lasted exactly 39 weeks. Masonry equals 33 and 39, and remember the Freemasons founded the FA. During the 49-game unbeaten run, superstar Thierry Henry scored 39 goals. Arsenal's 49-game undefeated run began against Southampton. This is really, really important now. Really important. Southampton. Arsenal obviously signed Walcott from Southampton, who was one of the most overrated players to ever play the game. I don't care how fast he is. All right? So, Arsenal's 49-game undefeated run began against Southampton. Southampton are known as the Saints. They currently play at St. Mary's, guys. All right, so this run begins against Southampton. And their 49th win came against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa are known as the Villains. All right? The most iconic goal probably ever at Villa Park is Ryan Giggs scoring against Arsenal and taking off his shirt. All right? And who gave him the ball? I think Vieira just passed him it, and then he dribbled through them all like the Arsenal defenders couldn't defend when they were known to be the best defenders in the world. They just forgot how to defend. Is that man doing that? Did they all know, okay, we're going to give Giggs the ball at this time, and we're just going to let him run through and smash it in the top corner? Or could it not be stopped? But maybe the players knew it was going to happen, but they had no real say. Or maybe just maybe none of them have a clue what's going on. There is that chance, which I don't think is the case, but there is that chance. You've got to be open-minded with this knowledge. Now check this out. Judas Iscariot is seen as a villain in the Bible. Villain, like Aston Villa, the villains. That's why Prince William supports them and Tom Hanks. Prince William telling everybody, well, I support Aston Villa because all my friends supported the top teams and I just wanted to be different. Then why Villa? Multiple other teams you could have chosen. Why Villa? Just because you wanted to be different? Why didn't you support a team in the conference then, William? No, it's because they're called the villains and it's biblical. His son, by the way, is called George, going back to that King George ritual with Remembrance Day. Georgetown in Washington, George Washington, the first US president. And like I said, Judas Iscariot is seen as a villain in the Bible, and his name is often used synonymously with betrayal of treason. In Christianity, Judas is seen as an antagonist. He went against Jesus. Okay? And when you had this goal-scoring run with Arsenal, where they went 55 games in a row scoring, that also began against Southampton, and the 55th game was versus Villa. Why? Why did they perfectly sync up with Southampton and Villa on both occasions? Isaiah 40 in the live, 21 lights, 421. Queen Elizabeth's birthday, 421, the 82nd prime, the year Prince William was born. Why? How's this being done? Is why I wake up every morning now. It's not, hey, I want to make people rich. Hey, I want them to win this amount of money. It's, I want to decode this reality. I want to decode the history. I want to see if I can help people. And I want it to bring me to God. Because this coding I'm doing, I think it goes under the radar, what I'm doing every day at this point. I think it's truly going under the radar. And you need to read the code, guys. You need to get on my website and read the code with your own eyes. You also need to get your friends, not to sign up to my website, get your friends and show them the code. Show them it. Play your role in this. People are going to dismiss the Premier League being rigged, go, well, I think you should check out this. It'll take you 5 minutes to read. About Arsenal's 49-game undefeated run. Just check it out. If anyone reads this and dismisses it completely, then they're fools. They're foolish. Arsenal won 36 games during their 49-game unbeaten run. They drew 13 Illuminati bloodlines, but 36 games. 666, the 36 triangular number. And obviously, the square root of 36 is 6. And Arsenal's 49-game unbeaten run began where they beat Southampton, the Saints, 6-1, scoring 6 goals. And 61's the 18th prime, and IHS gets you 18 in 2 ciphers. 1 + 8 is 9. And I keep talking about 186. All right? How significant the 186 is. Well, this 6-1 win against Southampton, which began their 49-game undefeated run, came on the 186th day of the year. 9/11 occurred exactly 18 years, 6 months before coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. The speed of light is approximately 186,000 miles per second. In Gematria, square and compass is 186. And in Gematria, Bible code is 186. So I'm done there. I will try and share this on Twitter. I don't know if it's too long or I'll have to do multiple posts. Just going to check if there's any errors with it. As far as I'm aware, there wasn't any. Let me have a quick look. So yeah, I wanted to do this code because tomorrow Arsenal are going to be playing. And they're playing Palace. It connects to Buckingham Palace, which connects to the royal family. Wow. So, guys, comments, thoughts? Is this man? Is it God? Is it just Freemasons? Is it a combination? Is it just a matrix? If it's a matrix, who's behind the matrix? Is it demons? Is the decode at the beginning of the stream? No. The decode's on my website. And what I should just start doing is just videos now and not doing as many lives, so you can just see it. I could have done that in 15 minutes, not an hour and 5. Just do it. But I always ask people, what do you think I should do? I'll do it as a live. Do it as a live. It'll be much better. I think some of my videos are probably better not as a live, where I can just present you the findings so you can see them with your own eyes. For those who struggle taking stuff in by listening, a lot of people are visual learners. All you get from my lives is you're looking at me. Did you read my decodes I sent you? Jaycon, where did you send me them, mate? Where did you send me them? Maybe I have. You've got to be aware, bro, that I get sent emails and messages every single day by people all over the world and by people I don't even know. You email me via the website. I'll check them out, Jaycon. Can you send me them to this one? Please, if you can send the codes to that, that's better, and I'll read them all. How do we stop them? Stop giving your energy to them really helps. If you stop giving your energy and paying the money and getting consumed by it, and it hurts me to say this, not hurt, but maybe stop gambling, stop playing Fantasy Premier League, and put your energy elsewhere, then maybe the collective consciousness changes, which really then has a say on the world, because there is an element of free will that we all have. I do believe there's a big element of everything is coded to an extent, but there's also free will. We can't just rely on Jesus to save us. And again, for the people that don't believe in Jesus, maybe he doesn't exist. So maybe it is just us. I always try and look at it from multiple sources, and people look at things from different dimensions and different points of view, which I love. So my whole thing is, whilst I'm here, Adam Edwards, The Illusion, whilst I'm here, I personally believe I'll never die. The spirit, I believe that. Same with all of you. I believe that. Kevin's here. How you doing, bro? Very good decoder in football. But I'm here right now, and I have a voice, and I have this knowledge, so I'm going to share it. I could just sit back and go, what's the point? It's all going to play out the way it's supposed to. Destiny. No, I think there's definitely an element of where we have a big say in how this so-called movie ends. I think we have a big say. And you can't look at me and say I'm not giving my energy and almost life to helping other people through this code. There's the freeze. There's the freeze. Yeah, I agree. It's to do with consciousness. Yeah. I'm glad that you're doing well, Kevin. A lot of respect for you. So maybe they can't be completely stopped. Like I tell people, you can't escape the matrix, but you can master the matrix. I don't think you can fully escape it, if that's what we're living in right now, a simulation, which is Satan tricking us, the matrix for me. But it's hard to... it's hard for me now to say that these numbers don't mean anything, that they're just... I don't believe in coincidences anymore. I don't believe they exist. I don't think they've ever existed. But yeah, he showed his hairy chest to the world to try and prove a point that he's probably a man when he probably isn't. It's very easy for a girl to get a hairy chest when they get pumped with testosterone. I've watched all the videos. It's easily done. So I'm just going to check if Chris signed up. There he is. Yeah, my bro Chris has just signed up on President Obama's 62nd birthday. Queen Elizabeth was coronated on 6/2 in 1953, the 62nd triangular number. So something big's going to go down. 2023. Easy, brother. Yes, I've just got the payment. It is recurring, but you can cancel whenever you want. You made a different account. I appreciate it. It's just come through. So you just signed up on Obama's 62nd birthday, baby. Cheers, lad. I appreciate it. And let me know what you think of the codes and stuff. Ice cream on me next time I see you. He's just signed up. That's great. So did Patra. Thank you, Patra. What's your first name? Cleo? Cleopatra, baby. Woo! So, yeah, the audio freezes because of YouTube. It's not my internet. I've got my own cable box. My internet's fantastic, super quick speed. When I do these lives, occasionally they freeze me. 11/11 is when Black Panther is releasing. Wow, I'm telling you, look out for that date, 11/11. And 12/11. 11/11 is going to be exactly 32 weeks or 32 months after coronavirus was declared. 12/11 is 33 months. Oh, Patra, Adam Lastman, Patra, yeah. So, yeah, there we go. Cheers, Adam. Why? Can I ask you, bro, why your last name is Last Man and why you capitalize M? I'm intrigued. I'm always intrigued why your name's Adam Lastman and you always emphasize the M. Present day footballers shave their chest hair. Yep. So I don't know what to say. Like, I can't sit here and preach and tell you not to watch these games. That's your decision. That's your free will. But look at this article here. Does this not sum it up? That it's all storyline. Whoever's writing the story. Look, listen to this. Sky Sports have this huge article now, and it's called Premier League Stories 2022. Premier League Stories. Okay, interesting. Here's some of the questions that, unfortunately, most people are going to be asking when they're at the bar Friday night, Sunday afternoon. They'll be asking these questions because I've been one of those people. So here's some of the questions that some of you, a lot of my friends, and a lot of football fans around the world will probably be asking. Will Sancho thrive under Ten Hag? Again, never, ever, ever forget that I told you Ten Hag would go to United by the end of the season, and he was like 25-1. So, will he, guys? I could talk about this all day. And again, for me, my answer is it depends on the numbers. I think Sancho will have a big season because of the ritual he was involved in by missing the penalty. So, I believe he'll have a big season, and Saka and Rashford, which is obviously a good sign for United. I've said I really can't believe people love Saka. It's outrageous for me. The guy who has a female skull. Thoughts about CERN, a huge distraction. Where's Mason Greenwood? Just going through his ritual. And trust me, when I say this, I bet he goes to the World Cup. They said he may never play again. I bet he's on the plane to the World Cup in Qatar. Going through a massive ritual. I've done a video on Mason Greenwood and the ritual with him. Please watch it. Guys, if you are pretty new to my work, you have to go back and watch my videos. I've done one on Greenwood. And when you go on my YouTube page, The Illusion, in the search engine, just type in Mason Greenwood. Do you want it? Do you want my Mason Greenwood video? Who asked me? Mr. Man, do you want the Mason Greenwood video? I'll find it for you. Again, if you're on my website, you can access all my videos there like that. Thanks to Gabriel. Do you want the Mason Greenwood video? And I'll put the link in the description. I'll find it for you. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, we'll see. Let me keep reading some of these questions. Henderson's Liverpool evolution from unwanted to club heartbeat. It's a story. He was unwanted. All right? He was unwanted. People are like, really? You're going to replace Gerrard with Henderson? And now Henderson's almost as valued as highly as Gerrard? He is. If you speak to Liverpool fans, not necessarily talent-wise, but for his heart and what he's done and his leadership, he's up there with Gerrard. And Henderson said when he was younger, he knew he was going to be professional. He knew it. He said he knew it. Not he thought, he knew it. I'm telling you, some of these stars, they know. It's like they know their life path. They know what's going to happen. I wouldn't want to know. That's why I've got to be careful with this. That's why I don't often decode myself, although I have, but I think it can be dangerous. I think people like Henderson, they know. They know. Let me find you the Mason Greenwood video then. Yeah, I do little things like this, go out of my way. It's a pain in the ass, but I'll find it for you. Mason Greenwood. Mason, funny name. Mason Greenwood, Mason Holgate. I've got loads of Mason Greenwood's one. Oh, it's a short one. It's a short one. He's doing this in the game where he scored against Wolves, where I said that United would win. I think I even said Greenwood would score. And I put the code as well in the description. So he's from Wibsey Bradford, really close to me. He got 11 goals against them. I did something like that as well. I played against Wibsey. So there's the Greenwood. He grew up really close to me. So did Tom Cleverley. Incredibly overrated. But maybe his numbers just synced up, or maybe he's just from a Masonic family, or maybe it's a combination. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know the answer to those questions. Cause for concern at Chelsea. Ooh, how dramatic. Is it finally Saliba's time at Arsenal? Who cares? Perisic jokes about cheap FPL price and how Modric helped him move to Spurs. Evolution at City, but Pep's side still team to beat. I can't stand Lampard. Lampard on seeking DCL. I think what's that Dominic Calvert-Lewin solution. A fresh start and captaining Pickford. Pickford is Everton's captain now. Oh my God, that just shows you that Mason. He was at Bradford City when I used to go watch them. He was on loan there when he was a youngster. Pickford's just this big personality. The guy is so overrated, in my opinion. Now he's the captain of Everton. Villa to cash in on heritage and experience. Photo of Cash that plays for them. The new Forest do overhauls work. I told you Forest would win that playoff final 1-0 on the 29th, the 10th prime. They won it 1-0. Do Fulham have what it takes to survive in the Premier League? No, they just go up and go down. Same with Norwich. So Fulham, they'll be down again. And then Mitrovic will probably score 97 goals in the Championship and then go in the Premier League and score 6. Do that. Again, I've got to figure out why they do these yo-yo clubs like Norwich and Fulham. Like, why? Why those clubs? Interesting. How will 5-sub rule affect Premier League teams? Why are they changing everything? The most beautiful game in the world, they're changing with VAR. Now, what they're saying 5 subs can play? Yeah, because there's so many games in the season. Yeah, because you keep creating new tournaments. Stop creating new tournaments. Like that nonsense Europa League one. Dander. I'm proud I took a stand for South Asians in football. What? Why are you pushing agendas, mate? Why can't you just go on the field and kick a ball? All right, we don't need to know how you're taking a stand for South Asians. West Ham's endurance test. March, stepping out of Bielsa's shadow. How will Brentford cope without Ericsson? What, the guy who had a cardiac arrest was told he'd never run again? I think Brentford go down. I think they'll do something similar to Sheffield United, who went from being a top team, so hard to beat, to being horrific the season after, with the same team, if not better, because it's the numbers. But people like Chris Wilder know that. Big Mason from Sheffield. Barnes ready for the next level. Inside Saints fresh start. So, again, could I talk about this stuff all day long about football and probably get more likes and more views and more subscribers by doing this type of stuff? Yeah. Am I going to do it? No. Bournemouth will stay up. Did they get promoted? I wasn't paying attention last year. Millwall top of the league right now. So let me have a look. Let me have a look. All right, yeah, Bournemouth finished second. So it's Fulham, Bournemouth, and Forest. Fulham scored 106 goals. Prince Philip Bourne 10-6. Wow. Will Bournemouth stay up? I don't know. They had the Masonic Eddie Howe. They don't have him anymore, do they? They don't have him anymore. Yeah, 6079. We'll do a live. Send me a phone. Do you want to do it now? Do you want to do it right now? Got a bit of time. I'm not coaching. Have you seen the statue of Michael Jackson outside the Fulham Stadium? Yeah. Mohammed Al Fayed's pointing to it, doing the Masonic point. They unveiled the statue and nobody knew who it was. And it ended up being Michael Jackson, which is just hilarious. Just hilarious, guys. Hi, I'm Michael Jackson. Shamon. What's Michael Jackson? What is Michael Jackson going to sign for Fulham? Come back from the dead and bang a hat trick on the opening day, and still people won't say anything? Michael Jackson opens the scoring for Fulham, back from the dead. 3 valuable points from Michael Jackson. Oh no, Michael Jackson, yeah, good signing. I thought he was dead. No, he never died. He never died, actually. Turns out he's a great footballer. Have you decoded the Champions League? Yes. I'm not going to tell you I think it's going to win yet. I don't have to do that. I told you I don't have to come live here and tell you all who's going to win when I work my ass off coding the games, and then if they don't hit, you ridicule me. There's no need for me to do that. For the risk reward, it's like when I get it right, which is most of the time, well, so he should. It's what he does for a living. When I get it wrong, he's a fraud. He's a liar. He wants you to lose money. Why do I care if you lose money? I don't even know who you are. Why would I care? If you win money, I care because I care about people. But if you lose it, I'm not happy. It's absolute nonsense. Who's this? Oh, I've got a little twist to the code from Mr. Flynn. The Saints and the Villains. Twice, yep. And there's a little twist to the Southampton and Villa riddle. Hassan Kashul. Yeah, do you remember Hassan Kashul? Played for Southampton and Villa. It's highly rated Moroccan. Look at their logo. All right. The Islamic logo within Morocco. It's got the moon and the stars in it, Morocco. And he scored twice against Arsenal in that game, which kick-started Arsenal's scoring sequence. It was actually his last game before a controversial move to Aston Villa. Wow, this is Flynn here. He actually gave Ipswich his word that he would join them. Instead, he turned villain and went to Villa. And he left Villa in 2004, the year Arsenal became invincible, and left with these stats. Played 22, scored 2 goals. 2-2-2. Mate, I've just read that out in the live. I said it was yours. I remember Hassan Kashulul. Mate, it's absolutely insane. Do you remember Amiyazaki for Wigan, who came out of nowhere, banged in all these goals, and then just disappeared? Michael Jackson first did the moonwalk on the 84th day. Of which year? Which year? Wow. Baby, are you okay? But you're jealous that you're okay. There's actually right now a Michael Jackson impersonator from Las Vegas where I live. Not in my apartment. Unless he's hiding under the bed. 106, yeah, is the 253. 25-3 is the 84th day of the year. 253 is the 22nd triangular number. Yeah, the whole Michael Jackson moonwalk is, I don't know. Is it demonic? Was Michael Jackson possessed? Michael Jackson was possessed with the greatest voice and dance moves in the world. One guy had all that talent, just one guy. where he could dance and sing. And well, then again, he couldn't really talk. He had no self-confidence unless he was on the stage, where he was probably possessed by a demon. But yeah, all the MJs which we've discussed, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, the list goes on and on with the MJs. Michael Johnson, the sprinter. I'm looking forward to the Premier League starting to code it. So I'm over baseball. I've done great with baseball, but I'm just over that nonsense sport. To be honest with you, I thrive with basketball. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. So the Brewers, big massive favorites, got beat again by the Pirates. Didn't code the game, but it's just laughable what they do. The Athletics just beat the Angels 8-7 for your number of the beast riddle. Dodgers swept the Giants, which you'd expect. I'm just saying, Miyazaki, like, he came on the scene at Wigan. He was Egyptian, wasn't he? Like Salah. And he was just a beast. I remember I put him in my Sun Dream team. He was like 1.5 million, the cheapest player. I put him in. Someone told me I put him in. And he banged all these goals for Wigan, which, again, Dave Whelan, the Mason, who owned them. Wigan should not have got anywhere close to the Premier League. Then you had Mason Paul Jewell coach them, who watched me train loads of times because he was the coach of Bradford City in the Premier League. Chris Hutchins also trained as the assistant. And Miyazaki he came on the scene, banged all these goals. I remember he got a bicycle kick, and then he goes. It's like, is he just used, or is his code just there for a year? Like, remember that Andrew Johnson for Palace, and then he went to Everton. He had like 30 odd goals in a season, called up to England. Then he went. Kevin Phillips got like 30 goals or something in the season in the top flight, and then he didn't really do anything else. There was Michael Ricketts, who got 20 odd goals for like Bolton. He disappeared. And like, is that because their numbers don't match, or it was just perfect for that year for them? Is it because they don't want to go the next level of the Masonic ladder? So it's like, okay, we'll give you this, we'll tease you with this. But does man have that much power to say, all right, Michael Ricketts, we're going to give you 20 plus goals? Kevin Davis, another one for Bolton. Big fat guy. It's like, thoughts on Glenn Hoddle. I've discussed Glenn Hoddle, phenomenal talent. Coached England, which means he's a Freemason, highest rank because he coached England. But he irritates me, Glenn Hoddle. He had an academy that my friend played for in Spain. It's called the Glenn Hoddle Academy. My mate, who I played with, top player, it didn't work out for him at Sheffield United, went to go play for Hoddle's academy in Spain. And he said Hoddle was great. And when I hear Hoddle talk about football, when I used to be clued into what was going on in the Premier League, I always thought Hoddle talked a lot of sense. I thought he was a very intelligent, articulate guy, but he also irritated me. Not as much as that Simon Jordan, who owns Palace or owned them. James Beattie is another one, yeah. Just absolutely killed it at Southampton. And then what happened to him? There's quite a lot of them that do that. They have these Juan Pablo Angel, who I've also met multiple times when he was playing for LA Galaxy. Was he at Galaxy? I'm pretty sure he was. And I coached his son a few times, who was actually a really good player. I've met a lot of people, man, yeah. I'm sure if you're a Villa fan, you're probably jealous of that. I remember meeting in Leeds, Mark Viduka, who was Leeds striker, who got 4 goals against Liverpool in a 4-3 win. Viduka, do you remember Viduka? My friends used to say I looked like Harry Kewell. Said I looked a lot like Harry Kewell, the Australian, who went on to win the Champions League for Liverpool. He actually started in that 2005 Champions League final where Liverpool came back from 3-0 down. And then Kewell's probably a pundit now, no doubt. And I'm pretty sure his wife was a bloke who starred in Emmerdale. It's just a wild world. I'm just trying to figure it all out, but I'm just a normal guy. Well, a very powerful guy, like we all are powerful, but just maybe I'm trying to put too much together. And it's unrealistic for me to get the answer to everything, which people think I should have the answer to everything. But nah, I'll never have it. But I have a lot of knowledge, don't I? I have a lot of knowledge. And I will do more videos about the Premier League because it's going to increase my audience. So I'll keep up to date with it. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to get every code right. I'm not going to even say I'll get more than 50%. I don't know. I always have done, but I don't know. So just know when you come and listen to my lives, I'm just trying my best to make you think, to make you question. That's why I'm here. It's why I do what I do. Not here to preach at you, whether it's about God or sports being rigged or celebrities being corrupt or this, that, and the other. You do whatever you want with whatever I give you. All right? I'll give you all these ingredients. You cook whatever you want. Cook whatever you want. So yeah. Illusion about to put HP sauce on his tacos. Bro, not a chance. I love HP sauce on my pies, which I don't really get here. Bacon sandwich. I ain't putting HP sauce on my tacos, mate. I'm not having that. You know a lot about people in this yard, and why didn't you get in? Maybe the numbers. I think it was. My ability was second to none. Anyone watching this who played with me and seen me play, I'm exceptional, and I was even better as I was younger. Why didn't I make it? Again, will I ever have the answer? No. Can I make excuses and say it's the Masons? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I didn't have the numbers. Maybe I just wasn't good enough. But I played in these games. I saw how well I performed. I see who I was competing against. I kicked their ass nearly every person I was up against my whole life. Why didn't I make it? I don't know. Maybe my bigger role in this world is this, what I'm doing now, which I would never be doing if I'd made it as a footballer. There's no way I'd be able to do this. Yeah, remember when Leeds got relegated? Didn't they have like Viduka? Maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure when Leeds got relegated, around that time, they had like Viduka, Kewell, Lee Bowyer, Rio Ferdinand, Paul Robinson, Fowler, Robbie Keane, Michael Bridges, Alan Smith. They had all these players, and like right before it, they're in the Champions League, and then boom, they're relegated. West Ham got relegated when they had like immense talent, like Jermaine Defoe. They went down, and it's like, is it about ability at this point? Who's the best player I've ever played against? James Milner. James Milner is the best player I've ever played against. Does he still have the record for the youngest player to score in the Premier League with Leeds? James Milner is the best player I've ever played against. So I was like, geez, okay. All right. That guy's a different level. But in general, I've rarely ever come up against a player where I've thought, wow, this guy I can't get past him, or he's just a different level. He can't be stopped. Milner, but that was when I was younger, like 14, when I played against him. And he was playing striker for Leeds. I was at Bradford City. James Milner's career has been insane, hasn't it? He did the Villains. He played for the Villains. Started out at Leeds. Then he was like a fan's favourite at Man City. Then he went to Liverpool. And he's still getting contracts at Liverpool. They're talented actors. You're an actual real person. I have no doubt in my mind that some of the guys I was playing with at Bradford City were Masons. There's one guy in particular. I'm not going to say his name because it's not right on him. We kind of got along. He didn't like the way I played because he was like a centre half and I was like this fancy player who would always try and like go around him. He didn't like that. But he captained Oxford. He played for Sheffield United. He made a career out of the game. And I'm pretty sure he was Masonic, to be honest. Seen some of his photos. And I used to play him all the time. Before I got scouted by Bradford, I played for Shipley Juniors, and he played for Longley. And Longley were the best team. My age category, Shipley were the second best, but they were not much in it. And I was always up against this guy who went on to make it. And he was a cracking player, man. He was a beast, to be honest. But it was always really like, he always looked pissed off and angry. But he was very smug as well, as if he knew he was going to become a footballer. Or maybe he was just better than everybody else on the team. That's a possibility. But you've got to remember as well, this is the thing about the fine lines with being a pro or getting that contract and things like that, is if you're 16, right, and you're at Bradford City or Arsenal or Chelsea or Man United or Newcastle or any pro team, if you're 16 and at that time the coach you have is not a fan of you, all right? Like my coach at the time was Ron Futcher, who was a centre half in his playing career. And there was a few others that coached me who had different coaches who were more defensively based. Thankfully, I had Vinnie Jones coach me at Hollywood. He was a defender, but he loved the way I played. I thought he might have hated it, but he actually loved it. But if you're an academy and they're about to give out that big contract or that pro contract or whatever it is, and that coach doesn't rate you, doesn't like the way you play, you don't fit into his style of play, you don't like your personality, and then you get released. Or you might be 16, 17 at the time the coach loves the way you play, like play just like he did, you fit perfectly to his style of play, and he's going to give you that contract. And I know at that age group, usually the first team coach has a little look as well, but they only hover around training a few times, these people. Ask your dad about Billy Whitehurst. Okay, give me an insight as to why I should ask my dad that. I don't want him thinking I'm like weird asking random questions. But yeah, I want to give a huge shout out once again to Flinny, who guides me on some of these codes, and he doesn't really approach it the way I do, but he sees patterns and he's like, wow, and like he gives me things. I told you he'll give me ingredients and I'll cook a really delicious dinner with it. So thank you, Flinny. He's in the chat now. If you ain't in the gang, you ain't getting in simple. I agree with that. I do agree with that, to be fair. Or maybe, do you think there's any possibility that the players who get these contracts at the beginning don't know, but their parents are Masons, like the dad of the kid? I've said that maybe that's a real possibility, that the dad is a Mason and they make this agreement. All right, your son's a decent player. We'll give him a few years. We'll let him have a chance in the first team, see how it goes. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe it's completely nothing to do with that. Maybe it's, I don't think there's so many maybes, but the codes I present to you will blow your head off. Everyone that I do, they will. If you have any level of open-mindedness when you read my codes, that they're going to make you go, what? That's what I want. That's what I want. And that's what I'm most proud of. That I can make people really question the reality. Very hard to do. Very hard to do that, guys. They play soccer at Oxford University. I'm not sure. Oxford, I know they're famous for like doing the boat races and stuff like that with Cambridge. I'm sure they'll have a football team at Oxford. But my mate captained Oxford. He captained them. I'm not sure he's still playing anymore. He's my age, so he's 36. He's probably playing semi-pro somewhere. He'll be playing semi-pro, getting about $400 quid a week. Crespo looked like Cavani. I think Cavani looked like Tarzan. Crespo, I don't think Crespo looked like Cavani, no. I think Cavani looked like V for Vendetta. Crespo was more female looking. Cavani looks like Skeletor from He-Man. I think you're just saying it because they have long hair. I don't think Crespo really looked like Cavani. Crespo scored, didn't he, in that 2005 Champions League final? Did he score two? Hernan Crespo. Argentinian, was he? What's it with Argentinians? Loads of them have the long hair, don't they? Crespo, Batistuta. Messi came on the stage, he had long hair. There's a lot of them that have long hair. Caniggia, do you remember Claudio Caniggia? He had this long blonde hair. I think I've run out of names now. Do you remember when you questioned everything? I used to really... I didn't often question anything until a few years ago. Just went about my business. I was a successful person. Just went about my business. I don't really question too much. And now I'm doing all this questioning over 2 years. I can remember Parents' Day. My parents are mega sheeple. They never understood that I'm not one of them. Every authority they looked at told them so. They wait for me to heal. Yeah, some people have these awakenings, or like primary school, middle school, where they just question the whole system and the world and everything, entertainment. They're being given that gift. For me, it took me 33 years to do what I'm doing. If I didn't stumble across gematria, would I have this level of knowledge? No. Is gematria the be-all, end-all that's going to give you the answers to the universe? No. It's why every day I learn something new, but I often have gematria to help back up what I learn, because it's all connected. So I will say, by learning gematria does not guarantee that you're going to have the answers to all of your questions. But my word, it helps you. And again, when it comes to sports, it will either help you wake up to the fact that they're all coded, or you will look at it as, well, nobody's ever 100%, so it's too inconsistent. It probably doesn't mean anything. Probably just a scam. So that's up to you how you see it. The level of work I've done, the connects I've made in my life, personal life, and just throughout history and daily, makes me realize that this knowledge is sacred, which I've been saying for over a year, that it's sacred knowledge. That the elite parasites, or those at the top of a pyramid, are so desperate to hide from us, because they'll lose a lot of their power once people realize how the universe actually functions. So yeah, the more we wake up, the more it screws them. The less we wake up, the more it screws us. So it's as simple as that. Now's the time to wake up. People don't like that term, but you know what I'm getting at. Now's the time to question your reality. All right? Now is the time. Now is the time. So I'm awoken, but now a lot of people question if my mind is broken. Let them question it. If anybody's questioning your sanity at this point, then it's probably a good thing. If you're going against the mainstream and not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're getting called crazy for that, take it as a compliment. People called me all sorts of crazy at the beginning. All sorts of crazy. And all I've done is shut them up. All I've done is silence them. And at the beginning, it is tough, because at the beginning, you actually question if you're losing your mind. Because you have spent so much of your life seeing the world a certain way. And then in a short span of time, this is my personal story, in a short span of time, your whole world's views are flipped upside down. So obviously, people are going to say you're crazy, and it's understandable. It's understandable. I went from Adam, cool guy, sports enthusiast, addicted to pro sports, watched his TV, watched his movies, had a laugh and joke, had celebrity icons that I looked up to, didn't question the government, didn't question science, didn't know shit about numbers other than basic math, to questioning everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. So are people going to think you're losing your mind? Are you going through a emotional breakdown, a midlife crisis, especially when it happened to me in my 30s? Yeah. And it's understandable. I would say the same to other people who've gone through what I went through. Now, with my level of expertise, what I've proven, the confidence I have, people admire me, or they fear what I say. I don't have anyone ridicule me who speaks to me face to face. They can't. Well, they can, but they just don't have the ability to ridicule me, because how I present the work to them, they go, oh, okay. At the beginning, when I was new to it and I didn't have as much knowledge and didn't put in as much work, they'd say stuff, and how would I react? You don't know what you on about. You don't get it. You don't understand it. And then boom, as soon as you react and respond like that, all that's happening is you're confirming that you're crazy to them. So I just laugh now. I say, give me 5 minutes and I promise you, you won't think I'm crazy. Okay, I'm going to read 6079's 555 code. Bro, can you send it again? I don't like looking through the chat. Could you send it again? I'll read it out word for word. Oxford and ox is a cattle or bull. Yeah, that's why you had Oxlade Chamberlain. The ox that they call him, go from Southampton to Liverpool. This mark, it's funny, it's called Mark Zuckerberg, the mark of the beast. The mark, guys, is on its way. And it's going to come from buying and selling. It's all biblical. And if it gets dismissed, then if we get the mark and you need this and you're scanning and you're buying stuff and it's the mark and it's everything that it says is going to happen in the Bible and you get it, well, why are you going to call people crazy for saying that we're living through end times when everything that's in the book of Revelation is happening? So I've told you, I'd rather starve than get that. And that's coming in our lifetime. All right. Do you believe in heaven and hell? I believe there's multiple realms, and I believe that we're spiritual beings and we don't belong here. Do I necessarily believe you'll go to heaven or hell? I'm not sure how I sit on that right now. Part of me thinks that like heaven would be going to this incredible place with God. Okay? And hell might be staying here. Hell might be just staying here. And eventually when you're ready, you can ascend to heaven. I don't know if there's so much as above, so below. Like you go, you get judged and you go to heaven, and if not, you go to hell if you don't pass the test. I haven't looked into it enough where I can give you a good answer. Do I fear heaven and hell? No. Do I believe that people will be judged? Yes, I believe in Judgment Day. We'll all be judged, but we all sin. Like I put in my poem, like basically we're not perfect. We all sin, and God knows that. So if He's going to put everybody into hell who sinned, everybody who's lived, pretty much is going to hell. So I don't agree with that. But that's a really intense question, and it's also whatever answer I give, I can't prove. So people will try and say, Illusion said this, Illusion said that. It's like, all right, I'm not sure if there's heaven or hell. What do you think? We could be living in hell or heaven at the same time right now. We all go back to source sooner or later. That's how I see it. Whoever just said that. Ryan Duckworth. I agree with that. But we don't all go back at the same time. We don't all go back at the same time. I think my time is up here. Awakenings are painful. Just like when your body changes, you go through growth pains. All right, you can go through pains spiritually as well. To have your whole reality flip upside down, whatever your age. Some people say it's harder when you're older. Some people say it's harder when you're younger. Again, that comes down to opinion. I think probably the older you go through it, the harder it is to accept. So again, appreciate you all. Where's this 555 code he wants me to do? I'll scroll up for him then, because he does. All right, I see one code here. Say that we live in 1984. Bo Biden died 1984 days before the election navigation is run off. WGS 1984. Bezos 11984 days old and Kobe's first game. Magic Johnson's son. Born 11984 days after him. Wow. There was a huge Michael Jordan Jackson set of connections in the 4-3 NASCAR race. The anniversary date of the crucifixion of Jesus 11. Hamlin won in the white car. Jesus 11. Nice. 6079. Are you going to give me that 555 code before I go? Ox like Obama and acts like X marks the spot for 2024 eclipse. Look out for 2024 as well. Russia invaded the Ukraine 224. Gianna War number 2. Kobe 24. 2024. Just from now up until 2030, we're going to witness revelation. And maybe we're already experiencing it right now. See, the Mets are winning again. My tip for the MLB, they're beating the Braves 5-0. Keep an eye on the Mets if you like to gamble. I've said it 3 months when no one else discussed them. Apart from my mate. The younger you are to be awakening, the better. If I would have had my awakening at like 13, I wouldn't have had the incredible life that I led. I would not wish this awakening upon a really young person, or at least in my situation. I think I had mine. I think you have your awakening exactly when you're supposed to have it. That's what I think. Code for Santos to win by knockout August the 6th plus 460. Nice, Detroit, Aaron. I'm swimming today, but I'm going to wait until the sun completely goes. I'm going to swim. I may do both. Why not? They don't have to be one or the other. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is dating that blonde girl from Little Mix. Bloke. I told you, any girl who's in a so-called girl band are men. Whether that's the Spice Girls, Bewitched, who else? What other girl bands are there? Destiny's Child, Atomic Kitten. They're men. So Oxlade-Chamberlain's dating a man and is probably a female himself. That's my answer for you. My phone just keeps going off, man. On Obama's birthday. I'm sure Joseph's done a video today about Obama on his 62nd birthday. So yeah, I'll put up a code for Arsenal, but it could be a massive trap. So again, if you sign up to my website, you're an adult, you have to be over 18, or you have to have access to a PayPal or credit card or a debit card. You have to realize that whatever I post for you, it's up to you what you do with it. Whether it is a sports code, whether it's a religious code, whether it is the Hermetic principles, it's up to you whatever you do with the information that I provide. And if you don't like what I do, and it's actually causing you more problems than causing you giving you happiness, then at the end of the month, just disappear. You can go, bam, adios. But I'm pretty sure you wouldn't do that. So yeah, interesting time to be alive, eh? The cheeky boys. We are the cheeky boys. You are the cheeky boys. Arsenal can get their 250th Premier League loss. Yeah, it's tough. This game's really tough. It's really, 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 really tough. So, for example, right, 616 is the alternate number of the beast. And Palace can stay on 6 wins and 16 draws versus Arsenal. And if this whole season is about revelation, that 616 is absolutely enormous. The game's on 8-5, isn't it? Pope Francis is 85, who's connected to Arteta, who was born on the 85th day of the year. I've told you about all the 8-5s this year. And there's just big-ass Prince Philip rituals. There's Georgia Guidestone rituals for Arsenal. Arteta can stay on 37 losses, which is a huge number with him. Arteta's got all the coronavirus numbers because he was the first Premier League coach to supposedly get COVID. And all those numbers sync up with him to win. But again, there's all sorts of stuff. There's plenty of stuff for Palace as well. So I've learned now that I ain't gonna force a code. If I code it and it don't feel right, and even if there's way more for the other team, if it don't feel right, Arsenal have the best code, but it don't feel right. Okay. Yeah, I've looked into that. I always look into the previous games. I look into the previous games that was at Selhurst Park, that were at the Emirates. I put in all of that work. And I've been doing that since the very beginning, the durations between when they last met. Way harder doing baseball when they play like 4 times in 4 days against the same team. But yeah, there's something big. Vieira coaches Palace, who was Arsenal's captain. Something going on with that. So Vieira is going to play a big role with his numbers. Arsenal legend. It's just, are they going to let Arsenal win when the majority of the money is going to be on them? Maybe Arsenal just wipe their ass. Maybe they'll just murder them. I don't know. I'll post what I have, and maybe what I'll do, because it's a one-off game, because it's on Friday, I just say, here's what I have. Here's the code for both. Do whatever you want with it, including the draw. Because, well, not even the draw. When there's underdogs, basically, Palace to win or draw is the same odds as Arsenal winning. So with Palace, you've got 2 out of 3 chance, 66.6% chance of winning if you're going to go. I know that's not the exact stat, but if we're going to go 2/3. So I would not bet on this game, even though Arsenal have the better code. I would not bet on it personally, but I know people who just signed up to me that they want to see the connections, and people might add. People like Aaron might go, hey, that's good, but did you also see that Arteta can get this if he draws? Oh, okay. Now that changes everything. So yeah, there's one game that I love this weekend, and I'm going to post it tomorrow. I love it, and it might not hit, and I'm on it with Chuck. It's our favorite code. If it doesn't hit, he even said, he was like, Adam, if this code doesn't hit, people are going to just laugh at me because it's so long. And again, I was like, no, don't let them laugh at you, because everything in your code is fact, other than your prediction for the outcome. Everything that you put in your code with the numbers is a fact, and it all indicates X, Y, and Z is going to win. So don't be embarrassed if it misses. We're not gurus. We're not geniuses. We're not frauds. We're not cheats. We're not controlling it. We just put out content that makes you go, wow. And I hope people are mature enough to read that, learn from it. And if it wins, it's a huge bonus. And if it doesn't, then as long as you bet money that you can afford to lose, it's not the end of the world, and you get on with it. On to the next game. You think Fulham can upset Liverpool? No, I've got Liverpool to win. There's no value whatsoever. But there's always upsets the opening week. There's always upsets or draws. Let me just quickly look at the Premier League games. And there's no code here, all right? No code. I'm just going to look and see if there's any traps. So Palace Arsenal, that worries me, that game, but Arsenal have the better code. Liverpool should beat Fulham. Villa Bournemouth, that's the type of game that just screams a draw. It screams a draw, games like that. Newcastle Forest, everyone's probably going to be on Newcastle. Watch Forest upset them. Watch Forest pull out like a 1-0 win when everyone's got Newcastle in their accumulator. That could be a trap. Tottenham Southampton, either Spurs thump them, or that could be another trap. Leeds Wolves, I think they might give Leeds the win there. There's a lot of energy from Ellen Road. Everton Chelsea, I think Chelsea will win. Is that against Lampard, isn't it? Leicester Brentford, I think Leicester. Man United Brighton, that's dangerous. It's just dangerous with United on the opening day. I'm going to see if there's a website that tells me the opening day stats of these teams. West Ham City. Probably, it's got to be City on it. Probably. Well, I'll look at the value. They often give it away with the value. If City are like minus 350 to beat West Ham in London, they'll probably take it. If their odds are like fishy, like minus 200, West Ham will probably take something off them. Wasn't Noble's last ever home game against Man City? Mark Noble, number 16. Are Arsenal beating Palace tomorrow? The code says yes. I worry because it's the opening game of the season. I keep saying that. The code says Arsenal win. I haven't looked into goal scorers in this game, but the code says Arsenal. Just risky business, man. Betting on a favourite on a Friday night. If, for example, if Arsenal were playing on Saturday with other teams and they were away from home at Palace and it was on Saturday, I'd be all over Arsenal now. The fact they're playing Friday night, the only game, the opening game, where I think most of the money will be on Arsenal because they've signed this and they've signed that. That worries me, and sometimes that is bigger than the code. If you can call the score, sub to you. Oh, goodness. My gut feeling right now, is that game finishes 1-0. The Arsenal game. Start off with that 11, the Jesus number. But I have no real confidence in that game. But yeah, guys, just the way I code football, the knowledge I have of football and how I can connect everything up with my knowledge and the code is worth signing up for that. Stuff that you're going to read that I'm going to post about the Premier League and the history of it is nobody else in the world will be doing. I don't think who will have a website or platform that's going to reveal the deception of Premier League like I'm going to do it. And there were nobody last year that were able to do it. There's a few people that code football for sure, but they don't really have a platform like I do. Yeah, Henry or Henry, the whole thing we'll see. If it finishes 1-1, then I'm lucky. There's no code behind it. So it'd be a waste of time signing up because I said 1-1. And if it doesn't finish 1-1, doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing when I clearly know what I'm doing. So again, Henry, how much money do you spend, or maybe you don't? How much money do you spend a month on gambling, or a week? How much money are you spending on it? Probably going to ask my community that, how much money they spend on average. I just want people to spend what they can afford, and then just, if they win at the end of the week, fantastic. If they don't, sucks. But it don't really massively affect me. It just means I can't do this that I would usually do. But it's not game changing. This guy messaged me yesterday saying he put like $2,500 on a baseball game. It's like, geez, wow. But I used to do it. But it makes me feel sick at the thought of it now. But I was there. I did it at one point. You don't watch the games, good for you. Yeah, I don't think it's completely rigged. I don't think all the players are fully aware of what's going on. There's no way. It's too perfect. I think the top coaches and players do. And I think the outcomes are predetermined by a code. Does that mean it's rigged? I don't like that word anymore, but I told you it works to get more people to look at my work. I think it's definitely corrupt. I think the Premier League is corrupt. FIFA's been proven to be corrupt. UEFA's been proven to be corrupt. So when I say it's corrupt, that's a better word. Rigged indicates that it's all man behind it. And that's giving man too much credit. I'm going to have to go in a minute. I've got to bring my washing in. I don't have a dryer, so I'm hanging it out there. But I'm going to probably, with the sun, it's going to take out a lot of colour. Man City -265. So, God. Scripture, Henry. You couldn't write the script any better. All right? Scripture. It's God. God's behind the code for me. Satan has a say in the code as well. Maybe it's Satan that's infiltrated God's code and then uses man to fulfill it. I don't know. But it's... Mate, did you not just hear my Arsenal? Did you not hear my breakdown of Arsenal's? The 49-game unbeaten run. Did you not acknowledge what I was saying? I still don't get how tidy you are, Adam. Was your father military? No, he wasn't. I've been tidy since I was a child. Maybe my dad is very tidy as well. I remember like when he would buy tinned food, like tuna or beans or whatever, it always had to face, like if this is the tin, it had to face exactly like that. So you couldn't put it in like that. It had to be just like that. So he had a little bit of OCD, my dad. I still probably does. I have a little bit of that, but I'm very clean. I can't stand people who are dirty. Can't be around them. Like you get in the car and there's McDonald's on the floor, and just for me, I struggle to be around that. You just joined what, the live or my website? When you said you just joined, I'm gonna have to get off. I told you I have to go get my clothes, but let's keep pushing, guys. If this is revelation, let's just get the popcorn out and enjoy each day. I'm not saying live every day like it's your last. That's very dramatic, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you want to read it, it's on the website. And if you do get hold of it, please print it or screenshot it and send it to your friends, especially Arsenal fans. So cheers, guys. Yeah, he did. He used to face up the tins, and he probably still does. You are so blooming clean, Adam. I love it. Well, my beard wasn't clean a while ago, was it? But yeah, I'm very clean. Very clean, very hygienic. I can't stand to be around mess. And knowing those clothes are out there drying now is kind of annoying me, actually. So take care. Thank you for everything. Thanks for your support. Let's make August a great month. I'm going to be in LA in 7 days. My brother is going to have his birthday August the 14th. Much love to you, John. And anyone else who's having a birthday in August, which is named after Augustus, Julius Caesar, these jokers. But anyway, much love. Take care. Thank you. And let's see what happens tomorrow in the Premier League. It's going to be intriguing. Full show, guys. Take care and much love. Bam.